likes looking like? 10 likes? Come on, man. Don't make Jack wait. We'll do 20 today. It's the Jack Levin special. Nah, 30. Since y'all got it 26, I'll make it 30. Fuck it, 40 then. Y'all wanna be fast? Hey, there we go, 40 likes. What's up, guys? Got a special guest. Don't want to keep him waiting. We got Jack Levin in the building. He's going to be talking about his NFT sadness. I didn't forget. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's see.
Go deep.
Oh, no, it's not it. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do it like this. Okay. There we go. Jack Levin, say hello to everyone.
Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody?
What's new, man?
The Hawaiian storm is coming. I can hear our house shaking a little bit.
Really? So,
yeah.
A hurricane?
It's not a hurricane. It's like a mild weather system coming through.
A low pressure disturbance?
Yeah, a little bit of disturbance, but it's normal for the winter.
That's what's up. So you wanted to come on stream today? Let's hear it, man. What you got for us? I'm gonna try and pull up this. Give me 1 second. Let me try and do this real quick. I'm gonna have to pop out this chat. Let's go back to here. Hopefully that'll work. Nice. A Zen Doge.
I don't know what that is, but I printed it myself, and I like large, thick mugs, and so I just found a picture of a cool dog and I printed it.
Nice. That's what's new.
Yeah, I mean, like if nothing works, I'll just be doing AI art on mugs.
Right. I thought about that too, man. I need to get I need to get some of those prompts from you. Prompting is the future, man.
Yeah.
How you talk to the AI. Yeah. I can't talk to him. I can't talk to him too good.
Yeah, you can become an artist by coming up with the proper language that you speak to the AI with. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It was it felt like a sprint for at least a month and a half.
Mm.
And that's coming on the sprint of Zen launch. So with Zen, we didn't even know what we were doing, like or how it's going to be, or there was no expectations of any kind. And with NFTs, there was hardly any expectations either, because it's just so new, and there aren't that many NFTs that have utility. So we are getting some very interesting stats. But what's amazing about the launch is that it actually worked. Somehow.
It worked somehow.
Mean, I was 30%, 25% potentially concerned that's not even going to take off. I mean, in a functional sense. Because the way that we deployed it, we didn't have the admin keys to launch it. So we said, okay, let's just have the blockchain launch it. And blockchain has its own block counter. And so that counter counted down to the block and it unlocked the contract.
Right.
Which is kind of a new thing too, but it's similar to how Ethereum merge happened. So merge had the block count as well. So we thought we'll borrow that concept from Ethereum merge and we will do the NFT deployments and activation done it in a fair way. Because if you think about it, let's say that I had the admin key, or at least a way to push the button to start it. If I knew when I pushed the button, then I would know that right that second after I could send another transaction and grab an NFT that I like, and that would make it not fair. But because it was done by the blockchain itself, it puts people more on the equal playing field where they can get into the project together with everyone else without anybody's like preemptively knowing that the first thought is to press the activation and the second thought is like mint everything. So that was good and in line with fairness, I would say. Fair crypto tenets.
So you when we did a Twitter space the other night, well, I think it was a Twitter space. You said you would be happy to see 30% burned, and you would be sad. And I said, well, so would you be sad to see 20% burned? And you said yes. So are you sad about how it went?
So there's two type of thinking in my mind. Obviously, I wanted to shake the boat hard, and one part of me really wanted to see Ethereum suffer with gas. But on the other side, I really didn't want the gas to spike because I didn't want to have the Yuga Lab situation where everybody failing their transactions. And so the gas burn introduction actually more than doubled. I think we went 10x than what we originally thought. So originally we thought that maybe 1 billion Zen burn for these unicorns would be appropriate, but then we decided to move it to 10 billion just to make them even more rare and more unattainable. And I think we succeeded in the unattainable part for sure.
Some people were kind of sad about the move to make limiteds 250. And they think that kind of hurt it a little bit. Even me, I kind of feel like that might have hurt it just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it could have, but if we look a little bit, have a longer term horizon, we're going to have more Zen out there in the wild. And so ultimately the demand and interest and supply will meet, and we will have people potentially not feel that the 250 million is actually a struggle.
Right.
I mean, for the NFTs OGs, $1,000 is not a struggle per unit. But what I really did not want to have is I didn't want to have a flood of XeNFTs come out, especially in light that we have the collector. And the collector one, where you don't have to sacrifice your Zen at all, you just mint. That thing actually is probably the most popular series. We have 4,000 or more of them.
Those are the ones I'm making.
Yeah, a lot of people make them
I want to make some, I want to burn, but I'm still waiting on, for me, I didn't go for any Apex yet because I'm thinking to myself, Zen is probably going to fall after this. So it makes more sense to wait and buy them or mint them or however I want to get them as cheap as possible. I want to get the Zen as cheap as possible to make the Apex NFTs. And I think that for me, waiting until we have some more insight as far as how long it's going to be until the reflex, maybe that might be the better option. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, so I did get the unicorn on day one, and I know some of my I did, and just one, and I think some of my team members grabbed the one or two as well.
So you have a private island?
Yeah.
You have a private island. That's a fact.
With the volcano. No, I mean, of course I'm bullshitting. There's no private island.
I mean, it might be. I don't know, man. Listen,
I wouldn't want to live
on
a private island. It would be too boring.
I had this speculation in my head that, man, I said, what if Jack got a whole bunch of Google shares? I should make it like crypto guys. I don't know if it's just crypto guys, but I'll speak for myself. Like, I'll look for a storyline anywhere in my mind to like why something is going a certain way, you know? And I think a lot of people are like looking for that storyline. That's what probably attracts people to you, actually.
Well, I mean, you mean besides me being a gianter?
Were you really the janitor? Like, I looked at after you posted that tweet. I said, "Let me go look at his Twitter profile, see what it says." And it says, "What does it say?" Let me go look real quick.
Backend.
Yeah, back end. First Google back end architect. Let me see if I can do it right. Let's see. There we go. First Google back end architect. I'm like, man, this is the back end for the toilet.
Yeah, I changed it. I changed it to be in line with the current narrative.
The current narrative. First Google back end. So what does a back end architect do at Google at the beginning in the beginning
A
days?
backend is all of the server stuff. So that's what's called. There's a front end, which is the user facing interface, which would be Google search, but the backend is everything that happens behind it. So the web page, obviously, for Google is very, very simple. It's just the search bar plus the search button. But the backend always been massive. And so the backend architecture is something that runs the engine. And so in this particular context, besides the joke of being a janitor, the backend implies the engine of the company.
I think that's what people are trying to. I think people are trying to gauge, like, for lack of a better terms, how smart you are. I think people are trying to gauge: is this guy really? Is he just like pulling our leg? I mean, if you're building the engine of a car, I don't want to put you up too high on a pedestal, but.
No, but by all means, go ahead.
Good one. I don't want to put you too high on a pedestal, but putting together the back end for Google seems like a pretty daunting task. Is that something that anybody could do, or were you like did they have to call you from across the planet? This one guy.
The first 2 years, I was sleeping with a pager taped to my head because anything that goes wrong, I had to go and fix it, whether it's a remote work or I had to go to the data center and fix it. And so there was a lot of technologies at Google that was not common type of technologies because we were using Linux, which is the open source operating system. And it wasn't very popular back in 2000 or 99. It was just beginning. And so a lot of it was just like a flying machine with the wings that are continuously being designed in flight, if you will. So that was, I would say, pretty hard. But because Google was tiny, I felt like it was just a giant sandbox that I could do whatever possible and do all kinds of experiments and actually discover what would work. And those type of discoveries actually ended up being successful. The difficult part was that there was no test net, so to speak, at Google. It was always live. So anything that I would do, any new architecture designs had to be done in
midair,
in flight.
Yeah.
In flight. And many times I brought Google down by making mistakes and learning how to do this properly. But I was 25 years old and Google was an relatively unknown search engine. It was important, obviously, to the people in the company. But they're like, Jack, did you break it again? I'm like, sorry, yeah, I guess I did.
So was it like hardware stuff or software or both?
All of it. So I had the first week at Google, Larry Page comes over and he says, hey, Jack, you need to go to the data center. I'm like, okay, what's up? It's like, hey, there's a truck with 2,000 servers. You need to install them because we're going live with Netscape. And Netscape used to be hot back then. We're going live with Netscape, and if we don't get all those 2,000 servers installed and ready and operational, we will not be able to sustain their traffic because their traffic is like 100 times larger than Google's. I'm like, okay, well, I guess no pressure. So I come to the data center. The truck comes, unloads the servers, and those servers are on cabinets, and those cabinets have wheels. And they roll them in. So there was a lot of the unloading crew positions them. And I'm like, okay, so I have this 2,000 servers. They're not installed. I technically don't really know what to do with them because my task was to get them online, get them accessible, and then have the development team deploy the search engine. So they had 48 hours to get it up, and everything was preempted on me. So I had to get them up first. And when you have 2,000 servers, like imagine installing Windows on 2,000 servers, one
I
by
can't.
one.
I can't.
That's not possible,
Yeah.
right? Even if you go with Linux, it's not possible. So what I had to do, I had to develop a system where they all install at the same time, and a lot of them were broken on delivery. So I had to find everything that was wrong with them within 24 hours. I don't think I left the data center for 24 hours or like 30 hours because I would just keep installing them. But I was able to install them, and we went live, and we plugged in Netscape. Uh, we
That's
turned
what's
it
up.
on, and it started to work, and Google became kind of like a point on the map right there because all of the search from Netscape portal was coming to Google. And then was Yahoo. It was very, very similar. But for Yahoo, we had to deliver a new data center. And I was the only guy doing it. And that new data center, which was a different building, it was maybe 5,000 servers or maybe 6,000. And I'm like, hey guys, I need volunteers because I can't physically actually get it done. So come to the data center. So we have a picture actually with Larry, Sergey, myself, VP of engineering, and 5 or 6 volunteers. And one of those guys invented Gmail, Paul Bukai. He was there helping us. So this whole core crew was in the data center, and I was telling them technically where to plug cables in and what to power on. So they were following my architecture design to get everything up. And the VP of engineering at Google, he kept saying, he's like, dude, I can't believe it's working. Like, totally did not expect it even to come up at all, just because it's so complex and so new. And by the way, it's not just the servers. There's also networking equipment that's also new. It wasn't Cisco. It was something called Foundry, and Foundry was this new company that delivered networking equipment that was 6 months old. Nobody was using it, but Larry Page was adamant that we don't use Cisco because he wanted to get something cheaper and something faster, more experimental. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. I like experiments, so let's just do it. And that thing barely worked. When it worked, but most of the time it had a lot of issues. And I was talking to those guys, was on the phone with them all the time. There was a crew from the networking company coming in. So it wasn't just the servers, it wasn't just the software, it was just a lot of also networking gear, which was that I had to learn from the company within a day before launch, which is kind of interesting. So I became a specialist in this networking gear too, which was an unexpected bonus. So that was kind of the first 6-7 months at Google, where just rapid growth, data centers popping up everywhere, and I was the only one flying around the country and installing it. And then 2 years later, finally they decided. Oh, there was this funny thing. They said, "Hey, I came to the management back in the time, and I said, hey, I'm kind of tired a little bit because it's been 2 years, and I'm just doing everything in the network cages and co-location facilities." And the response was really funny. They're like, "Well, why do you need help? Everything's working."
Mm.
And I said, "Well, everything's working. It's because I'm working 16-hour, 18-hour days. That's why it's working because I have to make sure it does work." And they're like, "Oh, okay. So we're sorry, we weren't really paying attention. We were just optimizing search, but everything seemed to be working on the hardware side. So they didn't feel like I needed help, but I got help within this first year too. Obviously, there were 2 guys hired, and they were great help, and that was the beginning of my team. So my team grew to 200 people, I think. At the end, it was also international, so we had a lot of
So you were
engineers
the
in
head of
Ireland.
all those? You were head of 200 people? Or you were just
Yeah,
were just equal?
I guess you could say that because
No, no, no. Don't fluff it. Don't fluff it. You,
don't fluff it.
so
I'm
you
trying
was,
not to fluff it.
yeah. It's like I was say, man. We will put somebody on a pedestal. You know, Richard Hart. You know, like we'll put
Yeah.
somebody up there. So but I'm
Well,
trying to calm. I'm trying to keep that. I'm trying to keep that yin and yang. You know, I'm trying to keep that balance.
me too. Me too. That's why I'm trying to introduce my greatness slowly.
So okay, so what happened? So you were at Google for how many years?
6 years.
6. So did you just decide you had enough, or was there a fallout, or what happened?
Um, I just decided that it's running like a well-oiled machine, and the startup feel was no longer there, and I just wanted to run my own thing.
Okay.
So I just said my goodbyes to Larry and Sergey, and I said, "Hey, if you guys need me, I'll definitely come over and say hi and have lunch with you." But I wanted to start my own company, and obviously after the Google's IPO, I had the means to do it. And so I went and I founded ImageShack. And by the way, ImageShack.com right now is number 170 in the world
As
ranked.
far as like total website
The
traffic?
total number of websites in the world is about 2 billion. We're number 170 by users, by links that are everywhere in the world, and just the overall reach. So that's a good position to be in. And I think if you're ever interested in doing research, Moz stats, so MOZ stats, they show top 500 websites in the world. And if you look at the ranking, I think we're above times.com, we're above Yahoo Canada, various other mega names.
What
We're
about
actually
Alexa?
higher. Alexa is toast. Alexa hasn't been functional for a long time.
Oh, really? I haven't
On
looked at it in a long time.
on Alexa.com, we were number 11.
Oh, nice.
So number 11 is a good number too, because
Yeah.
well back then there weren't that many websites, but being 11 is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
So, but still, even now, 170 in the world, ranked by an independent company, is pretty significant.
Nice.
So yeah. But anyway, back to
So
Google. So
I would say it's good to say it's safe to say that you can make something go viral around the world using ImageShack as an example.
ImageShack, as an example, definitely was a very successful venture. It went viral the first day. I mean, first few months, it just became one of the most popular sites in the world, across the world, and it still is. But the thing that came after ImageShack was Twitter guys. They were building Twitter, and I knew them from Google because a lot of them were coming from Google founders specifically. So Evan Williams, for example, came from Google because we acquired his company, Blogger.com, and he went to start another startup called Odeo, and Odeo was an MP3 slash podcasting system that didn't really fly. And then Jack Dorsey, one of their engineers, came up with Twitter, and they ran with it, and it became very successful as a platform from very beginning. And so what they needed help with, image storage and image delivery. So we were the first backend for Twitter to deliver images to the world. So any images that you upload now obviously goes to Twitter's infrastructure. But for 2 years, in 2007 to 2009,
Yeah,
we were running Twitter images.
because I
And
remember my early days on Twitter. I was on Twitter in like 2009. I wish I would have stuck with it a lot harder and kept my accounts and stuff. But I think I remember ImageShack being part of it. But that was the tail end. And I remember they had the TwitPic was after that.
yeah, TwitPic was the competitor. Yfrog.com, so the letter Y, like yellow frog, yfrog.com, was the backend for Twitter images. And that project was so successful. We actually made more money with yfrog.com in the first year, more money than we did with ImageShack in 5 years. It was actually that impactful. So that was super successful and super fun, and also tested our capability as a backend engineering team. And actually, it was our first business to business endeavor. So it wasn't the business to consumer like ImageShack.com. So yfrog.com was B2B, which was very different and very difficult, and yet it somehow worked. But the way that it worked, which was very very interesting, so Twitter did not have any sort of mobile apps that they owned, and they just had the API for the mobile app creators to develop their own. And so what we did, which I think was very good, we called and reached out to all of the developers, and we told them that, hey, integrate our image storage and we will pay you to do it. And so they thought, wait a second, usually we pay, and now you guys want to pay us to give us more functionality? Of course we'll do it. And so they did it, and overnight the major Twitter client mobile apps integrated yfrog.com as image storage. And obviously mobile images was a really hot thing back in the day. And within 3 days to a week, we became the dominant force for image tweeting, because we had every Twitter app using yfrog.com. So we became the dominant force in the backend system for image views for Twitter, which is really great.
So it's safe to say you know what you're doing.
Nothing is ever safe to say.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's a good point.
But let's just say that I never been retired. That's safe to say.
Okay, that's good.
So, and I didn't need to work after Google.
All right, I want to press you something. This ain't really pressing, but people keep pressing me about it. It's your Twitter followers. Why do you have? Because we're talking about Twitter. Why does it seem like your Twitter followers are fake, basically?
Oh, that's obvious.
Because they are?
No, they're not. They're not fake. I mean, they could have become fake over time. I mean,
right. Yeah.
But what happened is that I actually have 3 or 4 Twitter accounts.
Really?
And they're all related to different businesses that I ran. So if you go to Twitter and you type in ImageShack, you're gonna see an ImageShack's Twitter account that I also own that has 400,000 people on it. Now I'm not tweeting from it because ImageShack is kind of like, on the back burner right now, but still functional. And so over time, that one. So that's mine too.
Followed by Jack.
Yeah. Now, where all those people are coming from? Well, they're coming from the fact that I've been in the industry of creating viral products for, I guess, the last 20 years. And I was one of the earlier people on Twitter. And so those people are old. They've been coming in year after year after year after year. They've all been following me. And, sometimes I make a tweet or a chirp or whatever, or I do something with the technology and people just follow me. But I haven't been on Twitter for a while, for like 3 or 4 years.
So basically the old followers are inactive. That's the answer.
Potentially.
Most likely.
I don't even know how to tell if they're active or not. I mean, I do know that when I tweeted, there were some responses originally, but they've been just accumulated by my account over many years.
Yeah.
So that's why they look like they're fake or they've been bought. But they're not. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't buy anything. I don't buy cloud.
Right. I'll get back to to Zen, man. That was some good information though. That's good insight to your previous careers. So XeNFTs didn't burn nowhere near as much as you expected. Do you see that, like, is that an issue, or do you think it'll get better? I think it's going to snowball. I see the volumes kind of snowballing a little bit. I think if Zen pumps, the NFT market will pick up.
So before I say what I think what's going to happen, I'm going to say that if Zen pumps, it's not. If Zen pumps, people would want to hold Zen, not burn it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as far as like some of the NFTs that were made, the time will have been passed on them. So people will be willing to, the people that made the NFTs will be willing to let them go for more. People will be more willing to buy them because Zen is up, and the people that are made NFTs will be willing to sell them because they made them.
Well, we want all the markets pump.
Right.
We want the NFT market pump, and we want the Zen market to pump eventually, but we do not want it to be unaffordable. And the thing is, it is very likely that the only time it's really going to be truly pumping is when gas goes above 100, because gas above 100 means deflationary force on Zen, because all of a sudden you're paying 10 times more for mints. So if you're paying 10 times more for mints, you have several options. Mint more, well, you can't really mint more wallets because you're going to pay more, but you're going to have to extend your duration from 400 days to 500 days, and you can't. And so you're going to be thinking, well, wait a second, so I can't acquire any more Zen. So one option is Zen's creation is going to slow down dramatically, or it will push people towards buying Zen who wanted to participate in the rally, for example. And the rally would be the pressure of the cost of production. And that pressure of the cost of production comes from actually not just the gas prices, but also from Ethereum price. So if Ethereum goes to 10,000, which it can, even if the gas stays low, it will still make Zen 10 times more expensive in dollar terms,
Right.
correct? Now, if you have gas at 100 and Ethereum at 10,000, we're talking about 100x in costs just with those two variables.
Yeah.
And so that is the primary deflationary force on Zen. I wouldn't necessarily say that these NFTs will be the primary deflationary force. For the collectors, it matters. But right now, it's just been introduced. People really don't know what it is. And so far, we have seen that people are more attracted to the functionality and the utility of these NFTs rather than the collectability. Even though I would say almost 8% of total Zen supply has been burned. But I think unless those two things we just talked about, the gas price and the Ethereum price goes higher, we're going to have this very, very slow simmer of people collecting NFTs in the bear market. But a lot more people would be using collectors NFTs. 90% of all NFTs that are being minted are collector NFTs.
Yes. Let's see how
Yeah,
much.
there's a pie chart right there, so you can hover
7.6.
on the red in the pie chart, and you're going to see the percentage.
Which one is more? Which one you think is more important, the left or the right? I guess the left.
I would say the left, because it excludes the penalties. Because penalties themselves is not really the deflationary force. It's more like people haven't claimed and it disappeared. So what do we see in percentage-wise there?
7.71.
So that's actually not too bad, because if you think about it in terms of dollars, it's quite a bit. But I actually do think that that percentage is going to shrink. And the reason for that is with
Inflation.
people, inflation, yeah, and people being more comfortable with the collector NFT
Yeah.
and creating. And by the way, that chart, not this one, but the one that's higher, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You can see how much it jumped. Like there is this little inclination right there, moving it higher. And so, yeah, that's an interesting chart too.
Yeah. This shows, to me, it shows that the supply hitting like this force, because I think this would have probably been at like 200 billion had NFTs not launched, at least 150. But being that the NFTs launched, it kind of slowed it down a little bit. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, ultimately, we do want the balance to be in the system. And currently, what we're doing, we're building out the ecosystem around Zen. So Zen is the horizontal scaling. In a sense, what Zen meant to do is it meant to land into as many hands as possible, as cheaply as possible. So I actually wish for Zen to be lower price wise. I mean, I don't want to force it to be lower, and I can't really. But if Zen started at 18 zeros and 1 or 17 zeros and 1, it could only have went up, right? So the chart would be opposite of what it looks like now. But everything else that we build on top of Zen is a vertical integration, and it's very similar to Google. So, for example, Google's horizontal scaling was get people into free search without taking any money preemptively. So no paywalls, nothing, no advertisement that jumps into your, into your window, no pop-ups of any kind. So for the first 2 years, Google was just giving out the really good product that really worked well. And then everything else that they came out afterwards, Google Drive, Gmail, Google Docs, Chrome, that was all vertical integration, specifically to take advantage of the masses of the search traffic that Google was having. So that's what we're trying to do with Zen too. Is we build the horizontal scaling system first. That would be Zen. So a very simple ERC20 contract with 400 lines of code. It goes all over the world, very very viral, and then we put the utility on top of it. So XeNFT is like one type of utility, and there will be more things.
So you sent me a message that said RFT. What?
RFT? What's
Man.
RFT? Reflection token.
I said that word and you like glitched out, man. Are you AI or something over there? What's going on?
Yeah, my AI overlords.
When I say RFT, RFT. Okay, it's good now.
RFT. RFT is an acronym for reflection token. So RF is reflection and T is a token.
Let's talk about that, because that's what I'm getting kind of excited about.
Pause.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. What do you want to know?
Yeah, let's explain it. Explain what it is.
Okay. Are you familiar with the concept of rebasing?
Yes. Rebase tokens?
Sure. So
yeah.
What is rebasing to you? Because we may have different understanding.
Basically, I'm trying to think of that first one. It was a rebase token called, I can't think of the name of it. I think it started with an A. Basically, when somebody does something, it kind of redistributes the rewards. It redistributes all the. So you say you have 1,000 tokens, and somebody does something. The protocol would make more tokens, or it would make less, or it would burn them, depending on what people are mostly doing. The one that I remember, I can't remember the name of it though. Amplification, that's the one I'm thinking about. That's the first one I'm thinking about.
So in finance, rebasing is usually done with currencies. Like, for example, you may have a currency that's very, very inflationary, and you want to rebase it by exchanging this inflationary currency for something that has a cap, which will rebase the currencies. Now, in this particular case, our idea is not to rebase Zen as a currency. It's to give people an ability to compete for the new currency by burning, where you will be given an option to go into a round, and every round is 30 days. So the contract will then track whoever burns the most gets the most shares. And at the end of the 30-day period, and it's going to run for 5 years, everyone who competes will have a leaderboard to look at. So, like, for example, you're coming in with 1 billion Zen, and you're trying to compete and get the most shares within that round for the emissions of the new token. And somebody else is coming in with 10 billion, and then you see that you're in the minority. So you're gonna feel like, well, wait a second, I'm not able to get as many shares as I wanted. Maybe I should make it 5 billion. So the game theory for Zen burn competition is what drives the rewards, and the reward is the token that's not inflationary. I mean, it does get minted, so there is an inflationary production from 0 to 1. I mean, obviously that's the case, but in 5 years, the cap is reached at 100 million, and there's no more produced. So it becomes more like if Zen is currency, then the new reflection token is gold. So this is something where you can store your economic energy and also exchange Zen for, but you have to compete with the market to do it. And so that also obviously reduces the supply of Zen, but gives people something that's more valuable. Now, there have been several experiments with that sort of rebasing type of setups, and not all of them were successful. So that's why an introduction of reflection can generate even more interest. So the reflection drives yield in general terms. And the reflection's yield is generated by the user's actions. For example, longer stakers win, shorter stakers lose, and they have to pay a portion of their staking yield to the longer stakers. So, like for example, there's obviously as I mentioned, there's competition for the emissions, which is the Zen burn. Then there's the competition for time. So the longer you're staking, the more yield you're making from the people who are coming in and going. So you come in, you burn some Zen, you make the new token, and then you have an option: stake it or take it. If you take it, then you're going to leave some for people who are staking it. So that's the reflection concept. So yield will always be given to people who stake the longest. And obviously that has a positive price pressure on in the markets,
All right.
because
Let me get
not only
let me get this straight first. So when I burn the Zen, do I have to wait for the token? I have to wait 30 days till I get the tokens?
you have to wait 30 days, because that round of competition will have to be resolved on the day 30.
So what if I come in on day 15 of the round?
You will not be able to front run it like this, because every day there will be a logarithmic scale for the shares emissions. So like if you come on the day first, your share multiplier is the best. If you
Gotcha.
come on the second day, it's a little bit lower. You come on day 15, for the same amount of burn, you get half of the shares. And if you come on the day 30, you may as well not come, because you get 99% less shares for the new emissions, even if you're the largest player in the competition.
And then on the 30th or the 31st day, everyone gets their RFT.
They get to claim. They
Okay.
can. It's not the NFT at all. I mean, it's just the ERC20.
And I said the RFT, the token.
Oh yeah, RFT. Yeah. So yes, you get it, and if you mint it right away and it goes to your wallet, you're gonna leave some for the people who have staked it.
Gotcha.
So we do not want people to take it out. We want the token to be staked for the longest time possible, and those people get the most reward. So if you win the competition on burn and you win the competition on the longest stake, you're gonna have the majority of the rewards versus everyone else.
So do you think, so that makes it a lot more clear now. So it's not really a fee like I thought, because reflection, when I think about reflection tokens, I think about like transfer fee. Like,
That is one way to do it,
Yeah.
is to have a transfer fee go back to the stakers or holders of the token. But in this particular case, reflection in general terms is just activity within the network and the rewards generated from that activity. So you could argue you're making a Uniswap pool, you're actually getting a reflection from the trading. You're getting the fees from trading because you're originating the pool. And if your pool isn't traded, you don't get any fees. But if it's traded a lot, you get a lot of fees, but also you have a lot of competition for people jumping in into the same pool and making it larger. So your share of the pool gets smaller, but your rewards may actually go a little bit, they become more liquid to you.
So I have another question on top of that one. Oh, okay. So you burn Zen, or because I seen a tweet, you said Zunicorns. Let me try to see if I can pull it up really quick.
Yeah, that's the one where you can stake your XeNFTs and get extra bonus.
Let's see. You've been active the last couple of days. Here it is. This one right here. Zunicorns new reflection token capped at 100 million, and all the Apex NFTs too. So, I thought this meant that you would, if you made a Apex NFT, you would be allowed to mine this new token. So that's not entirely
No,
true.
it's so it's not going to be an exclusive club. So I mean, like, it's not the same as coming to my private island if you have this unicorn. So it's not the same thing. What this is where if you hold these NFT, you will get a yield boost. So all of the reflection that's coming to you, if you're a holder of a top level XeNFT, your rewards will be maxed out. So NFT becomes an interest-bearing instrument as well, and it will be paid in the new token too.
You don't.
And
Go ahead.
there's two options. You can either stake it, or even if you just hold it in your wallet. But I think you can't just hold it. You do have to stake it because people
State the NFT.
yeah, you have to stake it because otherwise you can say, hey, talk to your friend who has it, and they give it to you. And when you enter the competition, the protocol will look into your wallet and say, okay, you definitely do have it, therefore you'll get extra shares. So that is not what we would want to do. We would want you to stake the NFT too. So that's actually positive price pressure for the NFTs as well. It becomes less available for sale
What about
when you stake it.
the limited? They don't get anything.
I think all of them will get something,
Okay.
including the collector. So
That's
if you
nice.
have a collector, like anytime you hold as NFT, it means that you have done something positive for the network, positive for the the overall ecosystem, and so you need to be rewarded for doing that. And then of course we need to decide. All right, so different levels of NFTs have to do different rewards. So Apex Unicorn probably will get the top of the rewards, and then the collectible is going to be the least, but we're going to be looking at VMUs and days too. So you know how collectibles have colors?
Yeah.
They have different power settings. So within that group, within that category, you also will have different reward amplifiers based on the colors.
Why didn't you decide? I thought it would have been a good idea to just burn, to make the only way to get into the new token would be to burn Apex and Limited, because that way you would get the burn and then you would burn the incoming supply that's coming at the end of the mint. You don't
Well, I
think
thought about it, and I felt it was very cruel and unusual punishment to do that because
cruel?
people. Yeah, because you already burned 10 billion. I mean, I certainly burned my 10 billion, and it felt good to burn, but at the same time, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
But
burning it,
wouldn't that make the new token even like the core? I'm not trying to convince you to do it. I'm just asking why.
yeah.
Wouldn't that make the core group of people that mine this new token, like that's a strong, really strong group of people?
I think. Well, obviously, we haven't decided anything yet,
Yeah.
and everything's on the table. But I think the major positive value price pressure is going to come from people competing with the Zen burn. Because think about it, there are some crazy people out there, crazy degens.
I
They're
don't
gonna
know, man. You
be.
said it about NFTs, and I mean, it wasn't that many crazy people that made NFT.
I think I met some crazy people even with this launch. I
Yeah,
mean, I talked to a person who actually burned 30 billion Zen
yeah,
on day one just to get 3. So that's pretty crazy.
yeah.
That happened. I mean, it isn't hundreds of people, but they're definitely there. So I guess my point is that we want to make sure that the game mechanics of the system is actually good and people have certain fairness in the distribution. And I feel like the competition for burn, where you burn Zen and getting the shares, is healthier for Zen's value, and obviously healthy for the token too, because the new token will only have 100 million tokens in it. And so, but the amount of Zen that you can burn is unlimited, right? Because think about it, the first month, for the sake of argument, if we have a lot of inflation of Zen, then people would be like, okay, I want to get in on the first token first month because I get the most of it right there. So I have to burn the most. But then you're competing with the rest of the players. It's not like you're competing against yourself. You can say, okay, Trevon actually is doing 10x burn, and I'm currently at 0.1 burn. It sucks. We have to level the playing field. I want to burn 5 times more than I wanted to. So that's the type of competition we want to see.
Now, the I don't know if it's a problem, but the kind of problem that I kind of see is being that Zen is inflating. What if somebody comes in? Well, I guess it's month to month, so that probably won't work. I was going to say someone could come in a couple years with more Zen and burn more Zen, but you would still get, yeah, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, what will happen is that a couple of years later, even if you have more Zen, you're not going to get the same number of shares
Yeah.
from the new token, because every month the rounds are smaller
Right.
and smaller, and it's going to be logarithmically scaling down.
So a separate burn that has nothing to do with the XeNFTs, and then if you're holding XeNFTs on top of that burn, you get a boost.
Get amplification.
Okay. When? You said NFT staking, so is NFT staking coming first?
We have to decide what to work on first, and I think we can work on those things in parallel. So actually, the amount of time and thinking we need to spend on the economic formulas takes longer than the code itself, because code is easy.
Right. Some say code is hard, but apparently to you it's easy. I hear.
The actual game theory is what's hard, because if your code could be perfect, if your game theory sucks, then everything else will suck. It doesn't matter how good your code is. I mean, the computer can add 2 and 2 together with the good game theory, and the bad game theories will all look the same, but you'll have no users. So we're definitely want to release staking NFTs, because we want people to trade their stakes. So that would be very healthy. So I think we're likely going to do that first, and in parallel, we're going to work on the economics of the new token.
So it's probably you're still coming up with the staking game theory.
Staking of what? Staking of NFTs?
Yeah.
Or well, the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted the stakers of Zen to get the XeNFT that they can trade. That is what I wanted to do. So I wanted the stakes to be mobile.
Okay. So that's probably next. That sounds easier.
Yeah, it's easier on all levels, but it's actually very, very positive for the liquidity aspect. So like imagine having a liquid stake. Like it's kind of almost the opposite of terms. Like stake is not supposed to be liquid, but yet you can sell the rights to the illiquid stake to someone else, which makes that produce more liquidity. And obviously you should be able to trade it on OpenSea.
I'm just trying to think, why would anybody want to do that? What, do you know why somebody would want to do that? Sell it to me. Sell me the idea.
The actual sale?
No, I mean, sell me the idea of why I want to stake put my stake into, and why I would buy one. I guess because it's been in progress.
So one thing that's actually technical, you can only stake with one wallet, one time.
Good point.
And with XeNFTs, you can stake with one wallet and create as many stakes as you like. You can ladder your stakes. So you can have a 10 stake ladder, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, whatever the number of days, and they all will represent different term values, and they all live in the same wallet. So it becomes extremely convenient to do that. And then you can choose options. Do you want to keep the longest stake close to heart, or do you want to put it up for sale and actually keep the shortest stakes close to heart? But that's, that type of mobility is what really I think will drive people to create stake ladders with a single wallet without needing to juggle multiple wallets.
Yeah, and there's like only maybe like 5 more days on the 20%. Think we'll see a spike on the stakes? I feel like a lot of people don't realize that the 20% is
Yeah,
about to
I
go
don't
away.
think people do realize it. I don't actually think that 19% and 20% really matters that much in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
especially due to the fact that you can stake for 1,000 days.
Yeah.
And so there may be a spike, but I don't expect it to be the case.
I think that's not it. One more thing. Coin tool.
Yeah.
Somebody said they tried to do it and they couldn't figure it out. Is it necessary for you to show us how to do that, or you said that you're going to build a UI for it?
We were planning to build the claim UI.
Right.
So I think there's plenty of videos out there how to use coin tools, and it's brain dead simple to create the C rank or to claim the C rank with their version of VMUs. But I think the scary part that people are worried about is that if their website goes away,
Yeah. The
and then
Etherscan
they
part.
can't easily claim back what they're earning. And so if we were to make the front end UI for that lives on Zen.network, I think that would be a positive thing.
Yeah.
By the way, I have my 50-day mint coming up next week.
I have a 60-day that ended this morning. I'm going to tweet the results of it, but basically
Nice.
all the way, and this was 60 days. So this was done, 30 days after launch, about approximately. So 60 day, 30 days after launch. I think it costs in total like 77, including Uniswap, to sell it.
Okay.
It costs like 77 to do everything, and the Zen was worth like 210. So it's profitable. It's one of those things where you don't know until you do it, So just throwing it out there.
It's very interesting game theory in terms of the value of Zen on the market, and it is, I would say, fortunate and unfortunate that people are so fixated on charts. But I realize why that is.
It's so annoying. It's the most annoying thing when people post, somebody comes to my messages and posts a chart of Zen. I'm like, man, tell me you don't know what's going on without telling me you don't know what's going on.
Well, I can forgive those people for the simple fact that 99.999% of all crypto you cannot get into without buying.
Right.
So those cohorts of people can be forgiven for looking at the chart and saying that it's horrible. So but yeah, I mean, what's really interesting about it is that, and I think Zen Turbo is showing it, they're showing that the cost of the mint is hundreds of times cheaper than the actual value of Zen today. So that delta between the value it's being traded is extremely positive. Even now, even with Zen being at all-time low potentially, and I don't know if it is, but it maybe, it's still showing that the cost of mint per Zen created is just so much less expensive than the actual trading value.
Yeah.
So, and that's a positive thing. That's a positive thing. But like, what does it cost you to mint
right now?
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive. 25 go away, $5 to mint, $3 to claim. They need it. Well, I mean, Uniswap, you throw Uniswap on there, it might create some selling, but I would like to see Uniswap cost too.
Okay, so it's about $8.57. But this is the amount you pay once, and then you have your variable days. So if you convert it to buying Zen on the market today, you would be overpaying by how many times? 10 times? 100 times?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know it's not a good idea though.
No, it's not a good idea because it's 100 times, maybe 1,000 times more expensive to go to buy it on the market versus the mint, because you're $8 working every day, very hard.
Yeah, like the major thing, I didn't just realize this, but it's actually a cool way to explain it is, no matter how long you wait, you're paying the same gas, so you might as well do it for the longest since you're gonna get the same. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So every day is just as good as any other day. But here's the other thing that people should realize. that extending your term to the max, like 442 days today, actually means you're locking in all of the amplifiers. You're locking in your C rank, which gives you more Zen because there's G rank is moving higher and you're making more. Then you have the early adopter amplifier. It's not a lot right now, but it's definitely there. And then the AMP is the most important one. The AMP is locked for the next 442 days. Every day you don't mint or you don't claim C rank, you're missing out on the amplification because the difficulty is increasing. And it's hard to see it now because it's been less than 3 months. But in a year and 2 years, like in 2 years, it's 20 to 25% less than produced for the same amount of dollars spent. So we have three types of forces that generates deflationary force or disinflationary force. The cost of ETH can go higher. That's positive price pressure. The gas price can go higher in dollars in the absolute terms as well. So the 22 GUI could be 100 GUI or 150 GUI, who knows, right? So that's also very positive, and that's linked to the blockchain's activity. And then thirdly, the actual time passed since launch is disinflationary the most because the AMP is going down. So it's going down quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker because every day that goes by, the percentage of the difficulty is growing exponentially.
Something that I've noticed, the cool way to visualize what you're talking about is going to the XeNFTs and then sorting by estimated Zen or from highest. And you can see that this NFT right here, it's always at the top. They're making
that says Zenturian.
Yeah, it's estimated Zen is 4.2 billion. Now this is estimated, but it's gonna always, now correct me if I'm wrong, this one's gonna always be at the top unless nobody else can come and take this spot.
That's right, because they lock their C rank and they lock their AMP.
Yeah, so that's a good way to kind of understand that you're missing out if you're not doing it right now. Just because this person didn't do anything special besides make the most VMUs for the most days earlier than everybody else.
Right.
And nobody else can outpace it.
Right.
And that's why I'm making these.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's no reason to.
Oh, have you seen the stats of how many people are holding how many NFTs per person? Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, on OpenSea. Let's see. Let's refresh that. 39. Let's refresh on this.
I think they have this analytics.
39%. Wow, 11 ETH volume. That's up from like 8 yesterday.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive too.
Yeah.
So I think if you scroll down, you're gonna see even lower. Yeah, like the owners maybe.
Right here.
Do they show? Yeah.
Oh, this guy right here owns 120. I see.
Exactly. Yeah.
This one owns 102. We can probably dig into that, huh?
Yeah, you can dig into it. You can open up his collection and see what he's up to.
Let's see. He's making these rubies. Okay. Good. They're just rubies.
You know what would be interesting if the top 100 holders, if Zen Turbo could have summed all of them up and created the score and a leaderboard for the top XeNFT holders altogether. So not just by one, how you are showing it, but per person, because they all belong to a wallet, right? So this person like really owns the wallet.
So you mean like this, or?
Yeah, well, like that, plus the estimated Zen combined from all of these NFTs.
Yeah, that would be pretty fire, man.
Yeah, because the guy with 120 may have very weak NFTs and will not be at the top. But the second one could be.
Oh wow! Look at this guy.
Yeah, that guy.
This guy's getting it in. Right?
Could be you.
Maybe. Maybe it is me.
Yeah, it was a cool idea to have the Zenturian have that color that's so visible.
Yeah, that color kind of that purple is the color of royalty, I think, but it does kind of scare me because it looks like this project called bankroll from back in the day. A few people in my chat I probably know about.
Yeah, I think most of us are brain damaged from all of the scams.
Wow, look at this one. This is another number 3.
Yeah. So it's actually would be a very, very cool study to do to see if the top 100 people actually know what's up.
Okay, this one's rubies. Man.
Yeah, rubies are the weakest.
Yeah.
Because they have the smallest amount of VMUs and
what do you think? I think I noticed that people are. I'm not sure if that's what's happening, but I think people are dumping their redeemed on the best offer. Is that a thing?
Yeah, they can. I mean, if they wanted to, but they have to wait 7 days after redeeming.
Yeah, I heard. I heard that, man. That's a new one I didn't hear about. That you gotta wait 7 days. You can't trade 7 days before or 7 days after.
That's actually important. Like imagine Centurion going to the time of maturity and then you deciding to buy it from someone and that someone ends up redeeming it just before the transfer. So he can front run you with the transfer. I mean, he can front run you with a claim with the mint. And then you're thinking you're buying something that can mint and it doesn't have anything.
Right.
So that's why the time buffer.
So there's like a delay on it or something on the NFT showing?
So unfortunately, the way that OpenSea is done on the technical level, they cache the old values. They don't update it in time.
Okay.
So the NFTs you may be looking at actually already been minted.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Someone bought this Apex for 0.9. This was, let me see. No, let me see. I'm seeing it wrong. 1.9. 6 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
That's why the volume jumped up. And then this one right here, this is Centurion for 0.59.
So what is it? Apex value.
500. Can you see 500 million or 100 VMUs max? Well, 441.
Okay, that's cool. So that's actually very interesting and very, very positive.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how much was that to 500 million. I mean, it depends on how it really depends on how much they paid for this, if they minted this 500 million or bought it. So it's really hard to tell.
Is today's price. So 500 million times, let's say, roughly 5 zeros and 2.
It's like
$1,000?
Yeah.
So $1,000 and they sold it for how many ETH?
1.9.
Oh, okay. So actually that's
But you gotta count the VMUs too though. 100 VMUs. Yeah.
100 VMUs for how many days?
441.
Okay, so basically it's gonna make more Zen in the future than the actual Zen burn.
Matter of fact, I think what I can do is we can do it like this. I can copy their address and go to Zen Turbo. It's the alpha, guys.
Dude, you're like the crypto analyst.
Let's see if this is the one.
You just know everything.
I think this is it right here.
Is it? So 3 billion?
Let me double check. I think that's the one. 604.
6044.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the one? Yep.
Estimated 3.3. $8,000.
Okay.
And the 500 million is worth 1,200.
Okay, so the person
won. I don't know. The VMUs, it depends on the gas price, how much they pay for the VMUs. 100 VMUs was probably like, I don't know, we could go do a testament and see.
I can tell you exactly how much it was.
All right.
It was probably $400.
Okay, so it was like they just squeezed a little bit of profit. Looks like.
But I think the the interest from the buyer came from the fact that they could have actually looked at the same screen you're looking at right now, and they could be thinking, well, wait a second, this is going to be $8,000 potentially, which not necessarily the case, but that they could have clicked to buy button from like right there.
Yeah,
and
that's
decided
dope,
to buy
man.
it.
And then they got
And
it listed for 5 ETH.
Okay, so they're understanding that it might not be worth $8,000, and so
This
they're
is
trying.
fire. This is fire.
So that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because it's now a derivative of the future mint plus the burn plus the rarity.
Nice. Okay, we learning, man. That's good to see people are actually doing it.
Yeah, and by the way, the half of all the royalties are gonna be used to buy
Oh,
Zen
yeah.
from the open market and to burn it.
When? What's your thing you're gonna let it get to before you do the transaction?
Probably just wait for like 30 days or something, and I'll announce it because I would want it to be known on Twitter.
Mm. That's what's up.
So, and you can actually see which wallet it's getting into, and you can see the wallet's accumulation of royalties. Do you know how to do that?
Mm-mm.
Do you want to see?
Sure.
Okay, so
Pause.
go to Etherscan.
All right, let's get Etherscan up here. There's a quick way. Tools. All right.
And let's find the Zen torrent.
Zen
I
torrent.
guess.
Let's see if it pops up.
Or we could use the address of the same.
That's what
guy
I'll
we
do.
just looked at.
This is how I'll get to it fast. Let's go to Zen. I'll pop out Zen. And then I'll probably look for, let's see, claim, Mint. Of course, nobody's made a NFT no time soon.
So if we look the one that we just looked at, and we looked at the owner's address, we'll see it right there. We'll see the royalty.
All right,
Transfer.
from here.
Okay,
Let's go to an NFT.
Right, you can go like that.
And then do what?
Hold on, let me think about this.
Let's see.
I forgot how to get there.
No, I'm gonna beat you to it.
Okay.
Let's
Let
see.
me think about this.
I think
So there's the Zen torrent contract, obviously, or XeNFTs. If we type XeNFTs in Etherscan.
I think I beat you to it. Let's see. From no, that's no address.
All you need to do is find the person.
Found it. I beat you to it.
Okay. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Okay. So look at the NFT trades.
NFT trades, got you.
And once it loads, find the transfer of the Zen torrent and click on that transaction.
Look for a transfer in this.
Yeah. It says, well, it says bought.
Yeah, it's also
So bought means the bought is somebody sold. So just choose the first one. It doesn't matter which one you do. And then click in. And okay, yeah. You see where it says contract? And then there's 3 transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them goes between buyer and seller, and 2 of them goes from the seller to OpenSea, so they make some money there. And the other one goes to our wallet, the one that gets the royalty. So like maybe that one. I can't quite see if that's the case, but if you click on that wallet, you can look at the balance.
Which one?
The one that has the least amount of ETH.
0.0. This one says to OpenSea
Okay,
fees.
so this is the second one.
Okay, 0.09. This is 0x390.
Was it $600 something?
Yeah.
That sounds right. So that's the royalty wallet that's collecting all the fees. That's the one we'll be using to burn Zen from.
So it's collecting in an ETH?
It's collecting it in ETH. Yeah. So like if you go back, you see it's actually ETH that got transferred.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So that's a very small portion. It's 2.5. I guess it's 5%. It's 5%. So of the total ETH purchase amount.
And then you're gonna take half of that and buy back.
Right.
What about the other half?
Right. We'll buy back and then we burn it.
And then what you gonna spend? You gonna go buy some Prada? The other half.
Prada. Yeah, I need more purses to make purses. Purses and neon jackets or something. That would be cool. I mean, in Hawaii, right? Because I
Yeah,
need it.
maybe some
know,
Prada summer trunks.
True.
Some
True.
trunks.
Actually, in Hawaii, like I'm dressed up right now. I'm pretty much with my boarding shorts throughout the day. Like
Nice.
I don't ever put anything on. So I just decided to put the t-shirt for the stream with you.
Let me see if I got it. Let me see. Let me get. I know you say you didn't want to do any questions. Let me see if I can get the best question.
Get them juicy.
Hopefully we get level 3. Maybe he can bring his best FUD.
Or yeah, maybe, I want some juicy questions.
Or,
so we have fun talking about them.
Or there's another guy in here earlier, Post-X Dex. He's a pretty negative one. Let's see if anybody. Let's wait. See if anybody comes up with anything good, worth our time. Right? See if anybody comes up with something worth our time. Sent the super chat. Let's see the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see if we can find it. I don't see it. Sin is flooding itself. I don't need to flood it. That's fine. Come on, this is the best you guys can do, man.
Yeah, I don't see any good questions. Yeah. Yes, I'm married.
Let's see.
When is Amazon deal? When we get 200 million people in the ecosystem, that's when we're gonna get Amazon. But I think the Twitter deal maybe sooner.
Is that based on connections or just speculation?
Both.
Oh wow, connections, eh? I mean, you must know Jack, the other Jack.
Jack knows Jack.
Jack of all trades.
Telegram too. I spoke with the Telegram founder just last week. They have a Telegram's wallet in development, so we're really curious about if we can co-integrate.
I'm gonna go with John Beans. This is interesting. What do you think of the price difference between an aged NFT versus a fresh NFT? When do you think the market will start pricing them as aged?
The prices of the NFTs. When do I think the market will price them?
As far as like age, like as time goes on, like for the 400s, the 400 days. How many days do you think I guess what you're saying is like, how many days do you think will pass until people start to say, okay, I'll wait the rest of the time for this and buy this one?
Well, I think it depends on what kind of NFT you're looking at. So obviously the collector you can make, but the collector is actually rare due to its embedded C rank. Like you cannot get that C rank that you get. And so people may want to have a C rank that's really cool.
Yeah. Like that one, like that one that's at the top, as in Turion.
Yeah, but also AMP. So think about it. In 90 days, your AMP is going to be 90 less. So, and that's important. AMP is part of the NFT. And also, I feel like the Apex in limited category gonna get hotter as the Apex gets all minted.
Mm-hmm.
It will all get minted eventually. Eventually, it will. If Zen drops 100 times from now, it goes 99%, they're gonna get minted in an instant. Yeah. And then the only way to go is up.
Let's see. Somebody said when Binance NFTs.
Nothing's really stopping us from doing it at any point. But I kind of want Binance to want us.
I feel you on that. I feel you. It's like, yeah.
I don't want to become as a beggar. I want to come as an invited guest. But the good news with Binance is that now the Binance app actually shows Zen quote. So people were showing that not only Binance has a page describing how to buy Zen, but it also has now the way to search for Zen within the Binance app. So likely it's going to get listed on the Binance exchange at some point.
What about? I thought you would do Matic before Binance. Matic seems to have a better NFT community than Binance. That's where Trump launched his NFTs.
We'll do it at the same time. Like they will both go right away.
Nice.
We just need to come up with the proper burns, because their economics are completely different. And then once we are happy with everything we see, and we have 30 developers out there building 30 different apps, then we're going to go with our own blockchain maybe.
The reflex, do you own? That I'll answer this one. When you own the reflex token, what coin are you earning as yield? I believe you earn the reflex token as yield, not Zen. All right. There's one guy in here. This guy Jeremy. He's pretty upset. So why did you put it on all chains? I can't. Oh my god, dude.
That's a stupid question.
Yeah,
because they think the Zen is devaluing itself by being everywhere. That's like completely opposite.
Diluting the brand.
Yeah, it's not diluting the brand, it's increasing it. Because first of all, it's great for the chains. Like people don't even know that Phantom existed, and now people go and play with Phantom. So it's awesome for them. Secondly, the allocation of Zen everywhere is all exclusive. It's not diluting.
I guess this there are forms of brand dilution, but that it doesn't work with that. Is basically what you're saying. Why not put on all chain?
Did somebody say I don't want to get rich? I want to get rich. and the worldwide fame.
Once we are happy with everything we see 18 years from now. And you guys are hilarious. What's the actual driving factor why someone would want to buy Zen? Why is there any buy pressure for Zen if everyone wants to sell? Who is buying and why?
That's a good question. Why is Zen worth anything? I had a very, very small discussion with some Hexagon famous something, I forget.
Yeah, the guy named famous that nobody knows.
Hex famous with a really pretty profile picture. The big hair guy. He's like, dude, it's going to zero. Nobody wants to buy it. I'm like, nobody should buy it. You can get it. You can mint it for 1,000 times cheaper.
So why do you think people are buying it? They want it. Like I watch some Zen crypto. Like I go on YouTube and I type in Zen crypto when I go for my bike ride to like if you have another stream or anything, I try to listen to some Zen content, and they're always like, this one, I don't know, guys. It'll probably pump, but you're gonna be waiting a while. Like they want it to pump so bad. Like I think that it's it's just the nature. Like people think that no. Even me, I started buying it at like point when it was like in the sevens. I started providing liquidity, getting ready for NFT, kind of early. But even that itch of like, man, it's gotta know. He's trying to trick us. It's gonna pump. The burn's gonna. I think people just want that a reason. They want to be contrarian.
Well, I think no. It's actually quite simple. Quite simple reason. So before we announced that the audit was complete, Zen was trading at 5 zeros and 2, and then it pumped to 5 zeros and 7 over 2 days. And I saw a person purchase $20,000 worth of Zen at 5 zeros and 2, and then sell it at 5 zeros and 7. So that person went from $20,000 to $70,000 in 2 days.
Traders.
Yeah, but that was perfect timing because they timed it just before the announcement, and then the announcement came, it started to pump, and then they sold, and they made good money.
Was
So
that
you
you?
can make
How did
good
they know
money
that? How
on
did they know the announcement was coming beforehand? I guess you
because
kind of was like, you were kind of like, I remember you were kind of like, I remember being like, man, he's probably about to announce the audit. I remember like, because you would come in Telegram and say, oh, we're probably going to get the audit later on today.
well, I was guiding. I was definitely guiding. I was guiding the release to end of December. You remember we were talking about between Christmas and New Year's. So
Yeah.
that actually happened. We hit the target
Yeah.
date. And Zen was cheap
Yeah.
relatively to the pump. It was very, very cheap. That was the time to buy. So people who didn't believe me did not buy.
Right.
And people who believe me, they did buy.
I believed
And
you.
they,
I believed you once once the rabbit thing came to mind, when you were talking about the rabbit, I was like, okay, so it's probably going to have it ready before, the year of the rabbit, so I started
well,
to be like, it's going to,
for sure. I mean, like, and also I said, okay, the audit is coming. And then there was the first audit report and the final audit report.
yeah.
And it aligned. So I think in terms of execution and guidance, that was spot on.
Yeah.
And people could take advantage. So it was free money. Free money
So
right
it's
there.
kind of, now that's just evil. Like, I think the problem with some of well, not problem, but what some of the fudders are saying is like, the sellers are taking advantage of people who don't know any better, who are like, oh, okay, I'm going to buy this new coin Zen. I'm going to buy it. It's really, really cheap. The market cap's really, really low. I'm going to buy some. And then here come the mentors dumping it on them. And it's like, it's kind of like you're taking advantage, or the mentors are taking advantage. Like, even I went to the Zen Telegram, and like these people from out far east are like, stop minting. It's so hilarious. Like, in all caps, stop minting. They want to buy it, So,
Hey,
and you're kind of
all you
taking
need to
advantage of
do
those
is
people.
all you need to do is just buy low. I mean, if you can,
Where's
if you
low at
can,
though?
if you, yeah, it could always go lower.
Yeah.
But I think, but definitely the free money comes from the fact that if you believe that we're not full of shit and we're actually releasing on time,
Yeah.
then you don't even have to be a high IQ individual to, and you don't even have to be a minter, and you can make the money on the pump.
So guys, just wait till the audit reports. Just buy
But
the audit report.
not only that, remember how Asians were buying, and Zen went from like something small to, and it went to 8x. 8x was a huge pump, and it lasted for days.
Yeah.
So 8x in the bear market, that's very healthy.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with minting. So regardless of the minters we're doing, the pumps could come for some reason or no reason. So the 8x went, I would say, for no reason, because there was no announcements. So, but anyway, the things that I look at that makes me bullish on Zen right now is the market cap. The market cap is microscopic. There's a lot of shit coins out there that don't do anything. They have the community and all, and maybe they're building something, but a lot of them don't build anything, and their market cap is in billions.
6.7 right now. That's, yeah.
It's microscopic still.
Yeah.
I mean, the dance here is that the market cap can actually go higher, and then can go lower. So that's actually very unique in this case. Oh, you drawing this?
Yeah, this is something that I drew. I can't drew this for my members. I can't remember what the theory was, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
Who knows?
it's interesting. So I'm not gonna exclude the possibility that somebody will build something on top of Zen that's actually even better that we could come up with, and that will cause a pump.
Yeah, I think this playing out like this would mean that the RFT is coming soon, but we have no idea of when that's coming. Correct?
we're trying to come up with a very interesting game theory.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be a while.
It may be a while or it may not be a while, but sometimes the anticipation is sweeter than the actual
Yeah,
action.
yeah. I
Pause.
resonate with that.
Like for example, what if we announced that we will only release the reflection token when we hit 30 million in market cap?
Did you get that idea from me saying it with the likes just now? When I was like, I'm not gonna go live until we get 30 likes. That sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
So 30,
I mean, like
30 billion. How much you say? 30, how much burn?
30 million, not burn, the market cap.
Oh, the market cap.
If the market cap hits 30 billion, and we can actually have
30 billion.
No, million,
Oh.
sorry. If we can deploy the contract that waits for the market cap and then goes live when the market cap hits 30 million, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Where the participants of Zen price appreciation, the people who drive the price, can actually turn on the new token themselves. That would be very interesting.
That would be dope. It's kind of scary too, though, because maybe 30 million. That's pretty achievable, but it's hard to achieve. But you said the market cap can go up when the price is going down, so
yeah. So we're gonna get there regardless. It's not gonna stay at 5 million.
Actually, let me go to CoinGecko and see the chart for the market cap.
Yeah, look at the market cap there. CoinGecko shows actually very good chart.
Okay.
And then
higher lows.
And then switch to, is that the market cap?
Yeah, it's on market cap. Oh damn.
Okay, so you can do a little bit of TA on this too, by the way.
You can draw on these charts?
No, but you can.
Oh yeah, like I said, higher lows.
You can export it. So you can draw a channel. You can draw a channel, technically, and then see what happens. So by the way, this last pump, the market cap was all-time high.
15 million. So if you drew a channel from here to using these lows right here, it looks like you would break support at like 5, maybe 4 million, maybe. It would break support. So that's where the support would be, around 4 million as of now.
Yeah, I think the market cap pumps gonna be stronger, even if Zen's absolute value in how it's measured, like 5 zeros and 3, 5 zeros and 4, can right now double the market cap.
Nice.
But that's actually also very positive, because when the market cap reaches particular highs, it doesn't want to go down. It wants to stay there, because people are going to be thinking, okay, well, it's definitely trading at the discount versus the market cap.
Like even me, when it was down like right here, I even want to say, when it was like down here at 3, I'm like, man, this is worth way more than 3 million.
That's where the guy bought it.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So he went from what is that amount? 3 something? 4. Let's say it's 4, and it went to 17. But I think he sold just before it hit the 17. So I think he sold maybe at 15 million.
Nice.
So that was good.
I got in a little bit late.
I was missing, so I didn't have enough mints coming, and I was missing 2 billion Zen. So I bought 2 billion Zen on Uniswap for 5 zeros and 3.
Nice. I'm really sitting here thinking about how I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna be thinking about, in the coming weeks to months, is how I'm gonna play the RFT, because I know it's probably gonna be the best idea. It's probably gonna be to get as NFT, because you're not gonna, unless you get as NFT, you're gonna need to burn a lot of Zen. That's what it sounds like. You're gonna need to burn a lot.
Yes, well, because you're competing.
Yeah,
you're be competing.
If we're talking about competing, it kind of reminds me of like the post-chain sacrifice. Like you really had to get on that list. You really had to put a lot to get up high up there. So.
Sure. So that type of game theory, I'm really excited about because people's competition drives value,
Mm.
and I think we want people to compete. And even if you're not competing with anybody, like think about it. Let's say that you're sitting on the sidelines. Everybody's competing and going crazy, right? What is it doing to the price of Zen? It's actually going up because everybody else is playing and you're just holding it. Or even if you're holding future mints, you're gonna feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be in the game in general. That's been my plan.
Yeah.
Just be in the game in general, especially with minting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's almost no negative externalities of any kind. The way that hexagons would say it. No negative externalities to
Imaginary
mints.
horribles.
Imaginary horribles. Well, so far the biggest imaginary horrible that there was is that I was not Google employee number 21.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna ask you about that, but you said you gotta. I remember you said something about you have to ask the person that wrote that article or something like that.
no, you can ask me anything, dude. It's like
I mean, I heard the answer. Why don't they include you in the 21, the 21st?
Did you see the source of that data? It's from Quora.
No, I didn't see the
People
source.
it's that source is like completely not legit.
Oh.
And by the way, Business Insider is full of crap, pretty much with everything they do. Like they can't come up with. They have 3 articles on Google, and all of them are different.
Yeah, I've seen the one that
absolute
includes you. I think there's one that includes you too.
Yeah, and in there I'm like number 18 or something.
Mm.
But here's the thing. So I came to Google, I counted 20 people. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, Marissa, the one that's 21 in the Business Insider article, she came 2 or 3 days after me because I remember setting up her workstation and getting her the code repository set up and all that stuff. So I had to be there before because I would not have known how to do it. And if the Business Insider says that she's 21, then I must be 20.
Mm.
Or she's 22 and I'm 21. Ultimately, none of that really matters. It's been so long ago. Like, who cares? Nobody was really ranking. Like, Google was not ranking people by. Oh, hey, I have the Google's offer letter, by the way. It's in my drawer somewhere.
Nice.
So,
I think I seen a picture of that too. Did you take a picture of something like that? Oh, you took a picture of your card.
The card, yeah, the
I've
card.
seen that.
We were printing those cards on, like we were so degen in that regard. We didn't order the cards. We were just printing them on the printer at the office. That's why it looks so crap.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that's about it. Gotta get out of here anyway. This is the last one. Why would people want to buy the RFT in 4 years?
Why would they want to buy it?
Yeah, why would anybody want to buy the RFT token?
In 4 years?
Yeah, in 4 years or period. I would say I would take out the 4 years. Why would anybody want to buy it anyway?
Dude, that's because we're so great. You and I, we're awesome.
Hey man, you on your own. I'm just here. I'm just asking questions, learning.
Yeah, and I'm answering.
Um,
Can't ask questions without somebody's providing answers. Right?
Why would anybody want to buy the RFT in 4 years? I'm trying to see the value then. I would just say, why would anybody buy Bitcoin? It's kind of like the same thing.
Sure. I mean, all it is the community. Like, if our community does not grow, I cannot possibly, in good conscience, tell anybody to buy anything. And I generally don't tell people to buy anything anyway. I just describe the game, and people can choose to play the game or not to play the game. But if the community's growth is moving higher, and we have millions of people participating, it's kind of self-explanatory because community brings value. Because community doesn't just bring the consumers, it also brings the developers. And so and by the way, I sent you a little picture of this Zen ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
You want to bring it up for just a sec?
Sure, I'll shill it for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here it is.
Shill it for yourself, dude. You're a minter.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, this is impressive. This is very impressive for a token.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude,
this looks like a blockchain.
85 days ago, none of that existed. And now we're like having those little icons orbiting Zen Crypto.
We got ZenDAO, MCT. I never heard of some of these. I never heard of. Robot Zen. These must be mentors. Oh yeah, Mint
Both
Tools. I
mentors.
see it. Mint Tools.
Mint tools, yeah.
Dashboards. Dune. I don't know about that one.
Well, that's analytics. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm saying
something-
Dune is like it's not for Zen.
Yeah, but people spend time analyzing it and providing value to the community. That's what's important.
B&B pot.
Yeah, that's a project on BSC chain, Binance chain. I think it's a like they have this thing called Zen Roulette,
Okay.
something to do with gambling.
Okay,
And
I'm
they
gonna check out
integrated
some of this
Zen.
stuff.
Yeah,
Zen
So if-
Games.
yeah. And then there's another ZenFT project, I think called Zen Heads or something.
Yeah, I seen that. I started to buy one, but I didn't like the we might buy back type of vibe. It's like I want something. I want to see it smart contract. You know, that's what I
Yeah.
want you to do with the OpenSea, but I guess that's not possible.
Well, people are learning. People are learning what gives them clout, so to speak. But I'm just excited. Those orbits just growing. Like, what if we had like 100 of those orbits?
Yeah, it'll get there.
Yeah. But still, like, if the token was non-vibrant and not interesting, none of that would show up.
Yeah, it means something for sure. Liquid Zen, that's like a lot of stuff I haven't heard of. And then some of this is fluff, like OpenSea's NFT, Rarible.
Yeah. Sure, but those are the platforms that provide liquidity.
Burners.
And they bring new users, because if we trend on OpenSea for some reason,
Yeah.
and people don't know what Zen is, they're all gonna go back to Zen.
Yeah.
So liquidity and activity brings more users to the ecosystem, which means more minters, potentially more buyers.
All right. I think that's about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you.
Well,
you
let's
very
read chat.
much.
I saw something. Let me say this one. Hold up. It looks like all Hexicans who feel they were late to Hex are shilling the shit out of Zen because they're early. Hey, I'm a day 8 Hexican. I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to respond to that one. All right, Jack. I'm gonna let you go, man.
Okay.
This was a great one. A lot of alpha. Feel free to upload it on your channel if you want. Feel
Thank
free
you.
to clip it, guys. And I'll be back maybe with some type of content tomorrow.
All right.
Peace out, guys. All right, Jack.
Thanks. See you.
See you.